I've noticed a pattern, so it just has been like hard to overcome. And then I'm like, why can't I stay consistent? What's the issue? Like, there's something wrong with me, etc. So to know that it's like connected to a cellular level is really crazy. It's really crazy for me, because I'm like, oh, I'm just thinking it's me, and it's like, no, it's way deeper. Hello, it's me. So last clip, y'all saw me actually doing my HTMA samples. That was a lot. That's a lot. This is a lot for me. That's a lot. To send it in for my labs, for my functional labs, because I've been working with a nutritionist who provides functional labs. And functional labs, you already know the gist. Okay, so long story short, all my labs are in, and I'm having my review call today. Yay! I'm so excited because now I get to actually know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I get to know what's going on with my body, what's off, what's doing good, etc. So that's what we will be going over today. She has sent some notes, I guess, just to like summarize what it is that's going on. I need my hair done. So I'm currently looking over those, but I'm just so happy this day is here. Like, you guys have no idea. There's just been so much going on with me that I just need to update y'all. It's just been a lot. It's just been a lot. Okay? It's been a lot. Yeah. So I'm prepping for my call, looking over these notes real quick before we hop on in like the next 10 minutes. And I'll probably get a couple of clips showing y'all what she's saying. But yeah. Ooh. Hi. How are you?
Review everything today, and then we can like check in on stuff as well and just see where you're at. And then after our call, like I'll work on your master protocol and like things we can get started on. Few key like parts of it that we're focused on. The first is going to be this metabolic type, which is a slow one. So there's 8 different metabolic types. There's slow 1, 2, 3, 4, and then fast 1, 2, 3, 4. And a slow 1 is going to be most balanced, whereas a slow 4 would be the most imbalanced. And same with fast 1 versus fast 4. So in terms of like the subtype, you're at like everything is the same. It's in the sense that like we're seeing slow adrenal functions, slow thyroid function, slow gut function, like everything is on the slow side. And when I say slow metabolic type, it doesn't have to do with like weight or anything. It's more so looking at how quickly does your body use up or like can extract nutrients from food and convert it into energy on a cellular level. And with the HTMA or really any test, we don't necessarily need every single nutrient or mineral to be exactly at optimal, but more so like how do we get it to be more balanced. So on the first test, we're really focusing on these first 4 macro minerals: calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. And that's because we really need these more, like in larger amounts than all of the rest of the minerals.
Okay.
And when we can start to like work on balancing these, the rest of the minerals tend to follow in terms of like balancing out, and this will have the largest impact. So this one you'll see here, it's also like higher than that middle point. Optimal is 6 and your result was 8.1. So just a little bit higher. And again, with a higher level, it's not saying that like, oh, you're taking too much magnesium, but rather that it's showing us what magnesium is doing, which it's leaving the cell and showing up in the tissue.
Okay.
And so the reason that it's like being displaced or used up is usually because of stress. This is the first mineral to be used up during a stress response. And again, it's not that high. Like I've seen off the charts magnesium, it's not that high. It's just a little bit elevated. So we want to again, just replete that magnesium. Talk about, what are those stressors? Is it mental, emotional, physical stressors, nutritional stressors? Whatever it is, like obviously dealing with that stress component first, but also repleting magnesium to help your body kind of deal with that stress. Okay, the next one is sodium. So optimal is 19 and your result was a 7, so it's on the lower side. And again, with a slow metabolic type, your body needs more sodium and potassium. And sodium, it regulates blood pressure, supports stomach acid, maintains fluid balance. It's important for insulin sensitivity. It's regulated by your adrenal glands. Sometimes if we have low sodium, it can be related to like symptoms that can present are allergies, apathy, abdominal bloating, depression, dizziness, fatigue, low blood pressure, or protein digestion, or weakness, or any of those feel relevant to you. With the sodium being low, it's often a sign that you're depleted and not necessarily like handling stress well. And so it's a good time to just like do a check-in with yourself to see like, okay, am I in fight, flight, or freeze? Like where can I intentionally slow down? Where can I, like what are the areas of my life where there is more stress and it is caught, like, is it sleep? Is it exercise? Like, what is it? Family? Is it friend? Like, whatever it is, and obviously, like, everything that you've gone through in the last year, that can obviously create a lot of stress in your body. So that's kind of like how it's showing up on the hair test.
So I have a question because I feel like I love salty foods, and I feel like I try to stay away from using a lot of salt. But, like, is that because my body needs it? Because I'm thinking I don't want to go overboard with the salt or, like, having too much sodium. But clearly, is that, like, why?
Right, like your body is literally craving it.
Yeah.
So even when you're drinking water, like, sprinkle some salt in your water. Like, we need those minerals or electrolytes.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever gotten, like, where you drink a lot of water and then like you're peeing all day, like everything is being just running right through you. That's like a good sign that like, oh, you need to actually add some salt into your water, where it's like your body's going to actually absorb that. Like you can be dehydrated on a cellular level even if you're drinking tons of water.
I've noticed that since drinking from the AquaTrue and using that water and having like the trace minerals in it or whatever, I'm not like, I'm still using the bathroom because I'm, obviously drinking more, but it's not as frequent as I would if I was increasing my water intake and it wasn't that type of water. So I guess
awesome that you're able to like notice that difference with it. Last macro mineral here is potassium. Optimal is 13 and yours was a 5, so definitely we need more potassium support. It supports carb utilization, regulates blood pressure, it allows water into the cells for hydration, it's important for making energy, it's important for thyroid function, and also supports gut motility.
Okay.
And then the last part of the test that we're focused on is the significant ratios. So significant ratios are like looking at different minerals together because they work as a team. So it gives us insight into different, like how different systems of the body are working and how they're impacted by your current mineral levels. So looking at the ratios together, I always like give the example of like, it's the difference between listening to just a violin or just a trumpet versus a whole orchestra and like everything coming together to work synergistically. So on the first mineral ratio we're looking at is calcium phosphorus, and this is your nervous system ratio. This is what either gives you a slow or fast metabolic type designation. So when it's high like this, it's showing more parasympathetic dominance, more of the like slow, depleted state and the need for stress support. So there's like higher calcium compared to phosphorus. Sometimes like it can be from like long, worn out, exhausted state. I mean, ideal range is 1.8 to 3.6, and yours is a 5.21, so it's not super high. Again, I've seen like much higher ones than this, so it's probably not as bad as someone else whose ratio is a lot higher, but it is showing that it's more of that like slow, worn out, exhausted state. The next one is your sodium potassium ratio. This is, a lot of people say, is like vitality ratio. It's considered the most important ratio because there is a sodium potassium pump on every single cell in the body. And both sodium and potassium are sensitive to the stress response, and they're important for keeping other minerals like calcium and magnesium inside of the cell. So when it's high, again, it's showing that stress is actively going on. When it's low, it's showing more of like a chronic long-term stress.
Jesus.
Yours is 1.4, which is actually like right at the very end of, it's like right on the line. So again, I've seen those much worse, but it is on that like that lower side. So again, because your sodium and potassium were both low, that is like the first thing that we want to work on, like in terms of not like red flags, but like what is the number one thing we need to work on first? It's going to be sodium and potassium, because again, that it dictates everything that's happening inside the body because it's on every single cell. Sometimes when it's super low, which I don't think it is in this case, but we want to like dig into any feelings of like feeling hostile, resentful, frustrated, or little awareness around emotions. Potentially like limiting beliefs or feeling like victim mode. Is any of that going on for you currently?
This is so insane. It is so insane that everything's related like this. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Which ones?
The limiting beliefs. I feel like I have like a lot of imposter syndrome going on. So I feel like I start something and then I don't feel as motivated to continue on. So I might start it in like my ovulation phase or whatever. Obviously, peak, whatever. Started then, and then it dies down. And then because I haven't completed it and I haven't stayed consistent, it's like, you can't do this. You're not good at this. Just forget it. And then it's like a repeated cycle. And I feel like I've noticed a pattern. So it just has been like hard to overcome. And then I'm like, why can't I stay consistent? What's the issue? Like, there's something wrong with me, etc. So to know that it's like connected to a cellular level is really crazy. It's really crazy for me, because I'm like, oh, I'm just thinking it's me, and it's like, no, it's way deeper.
Way deeper, yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, you think like, oh, I'm giving another example, like for myself, like, oh, I'm just like a tired person, or like. And it's like, no, actually, like, your thyroid's not functioning well. Like, or like, oh, actually, you have zero iron, and that's why you're tired all the time. It's like, oh, okay, I thought this was my personality.
Yeah, it's like you think it's your personality, so then it makes you ask, like, yourself, what is my personality? Like, right. What?
Or like, what's wrong with me, or why can't I do this?
Right.
Yeah. I'm really glad to, like, have those like puzzle pieces fit in for you. Yeah, it's just kind of helpful to understand like, okay, this is much deeper. This is how we work on it from a nutrition perspective. Like, okay, we're going to work on repleting these minerals. It's not showing up in blood work. And with this, it's associated with weight gain, cold hands and feet, lack of sweating, fatigue, dry skin and hair, or constipation.
So weight gain, fatigue, constipation, those are all symptoms.
Okay, let's see here. Zinc, copper, this one I like to look at on blood work, and then sodium, magnesium, this is your adrenal ratio. So ideal range is 2 to 6, and your results were 0.86, so it's showing like adrenal fatigue. Or poor adrenal activity, often due to long-term stress and your adrenals not having the resources needed to function optimally. The lower the ratio, the more burnout, chronic stress, and exhaustion. And it can lead to increased storage of copper due to low ceruloplasmin. So I think we will definitely want to add like a vitamin A source for you.
I know I've like asked you about or mentioned like the premature graying from the HTMA. Does anything pop up from that?
Honestly, no. Like usually when I see like the high zinc, but your zinc was okay.
I've read that it has something to do with like copper. I know we're focusing on like other minerals, but I don't know.
There is a few indicators on your HTMA that potentially there is like copper overload, even though copper is showing up normally here. So for example, like, let me see here. The low adrenal ratio. There was like a few things in here that, we want to look at. I want to see your blood work too. So yeah, I have like copper in my mind. It's just not, it could be like a hidden copper toxicity because it's not like anything outright right now that I'm seeing.
Okay. I feel like I had like one or two when I first moved down here, and that was like in 2021. And then obviously, like, I feel like the stressful events probably were I moved, getting married shortly after, and then a year after we were married is when I got pregnant. No, the first time it was like a little bit shy of a year, and that's when I had the blighted ovum. So that was my first miscarriage, and then I got pregnant with our daughter 3 months later, and that was until 33 weeks. So
yeah,
I noticed it more like after the pregnancies, like it was like a huge like uptake of gray hair, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then it just started popping up even more since then.
Okay. All right. So on the GI map, this first parasitic viral pathogens, anytime it says below DL means below detectable limit. So that means like nothing showed up.
Okay.
So this whole first page is clear. This next section that we're looking at is H. pylori. So this did come back a little bit elevated, but not flagged high. H. pylori lives in your stomach or stomach lining. It's pretty common, like 50% of the population will have H. pylori at some point. But if it's like left untreated long term, it can develop into ulcers, gastritis, or even stomach cancer. There's no virulence factors, which is great. But with like the H. pylori, I always like to check in to see like if you're having symptoms of H. pylori. So that would be like upper GI bloating, reflux, heartburn, belching, anything like that going on. There's some overgrowth and like level of overall inflammation in the gut.
Okay.
And so the next section that I want to point out, so like no fungi, yeast, no viruses, there's no parasites, there's no worms. And then when we scroll down here to the intestinal health markers, something that I thought was interesting was that like this anti-gliadin IgA came back a little bit elevated, and this is your gut's immune response to gluten. And I know you said you were gluten-free, right?
No.
You're not?
No.
Didn't you say you're like dairy-free and gluten-free?
No, I've had like sensitivities to, not sensitivities, but like if I eat dairy, the next day I'm like sneezing for like the whole day, but it clears up, and I usually like combat it with taking like a ginger shot before bed, and that usually helps. But I've never like been gluten free.
Okay, so I mean, this isn't like off the charts high, but it is elevated, and with this calprotectin, this is a marker of inflammation, this is also elevated. So like as much as we can do like supplements and probiotics, if we're not addressing the thing that perhaps your gut is like being sensitive to, it's going to be hard to heal. So I think we can do like a trial gluten-free diet for like 12 weeks where you're doing like complete gluten elimination. I'm happy for you to start that after the holidays if that feels like way too crazy right now. But just as we're working on like calming things down and like lowering inflammation, if gluten is this like trigger in your gut that's like continuously being exposed to it every day, we want to just like take a pause from that and like let your body like heal.
Yeah. I don't think so. I'm just really shocked. I mean, the blood work came back and it was like the ones that I already uploaded was basically saying like there's high levels of inflammation. So this like makes sense, but obviously they weren't looking at my gut.
Right.
So I wonder if like this contributes to that high level of inflammation they were seeing. Like, could this be connected to like, because I feel like it was like my heart, like stuff to do with like cardiology as well, that they were saying was high. I can't really call it, but I was so convinced that I had a parasite because I'm like, I also love sweets. So I'm like, just trying to tie all that in because I'm like, this is not what I was expecting.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that you don't have a parasite.
I know.
That is just is like it's a long road to get rid of it. So in comparison, cutting out gluten is like easy peasy.
I don't know, because I don't really, like, I've never paid attention to gluten stuff or, like, what has gluten that I cook with or that I eat often. I just, so I'm like, what exactly is that going to entail me eliminating? Will be interesting.
Bread, pasta, cookies, cakes, soy sauce. Those are like the main things. You can still eat rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes. You can still eat gluten-free pasta, gluten-free bread. Like,
okay,
it's a little bit harder when you're going out to eat, obviously, but
we're trying to avoid that anyway. So
yeah,
well, not avoid it, but like limit how much. So yeah.
So like your waking at 5 a.m. is very low, and then like 30 minutes later they're like super high where you're jumping. It says like usually the range is 50 to 160. You're jumping to like 700% in the first 30 minutes.
Oh my
so I don't know what's happening in the first 30 minutes of your day, but you're super stressed.
I didn't even do okay. That day I stayed home because I knew I had to do the labs. So there wasn't even anything stressful. There wasn't even anything stressful going on. So, this is insane. That day, like usually it's just I wake up. I don't know.
So this pattern reflects like poor sleep quality, high mental load, nervous system dysregulation, like sometimes feeling like wired but tired at night.
I feel like I get great sleep. I could probably be going to bed earlier, but I feel like I usually get like 8 hours of sleep. I don't wake up in the middle of the night or anything. I usually feel, because like I notice my body knows the difference when I don't get 8 hours. So say I get 6 and I'm like, I need those extra 2 hours. And then after I get them, I'm fine. So it's like, but I don't wake up in the middle of the night. I don't feel like restless or anything. I do notice that, okay, so my husband leaves out for work early. There are times where I leave to go with him. I'll be rushing to like get out the door so he can like, he won't be late for work. So I don't know if that plays a part. Because I do notice that like the rush, that happens often with me where I'm like overwhelmed, rushing to get out the door, etc. But that day, that didn't even happen. So that's why I'm just like...
Maybe it's like your body like knew it or felt it even though you weren't doing it that day.
Maybe I was just like nervous about making sure I did this test right, because I was like, I cannot mess this up. Like, there's so many rules. It's like waking within 5 minutes. You have to take your saliva and pee. 30 minutes later, I'm just like, oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I know, this test is wild. Alright, let's move into the rest of this. HTMA is like on the low end of normal, so potentially can contribute to like low energy, slow metabolism, and low libido, which we know. I mean, it has, you said, has improved, but
I mean, I'm ovulating right now, and I'm just like not feeling it.
not feeling it.
Yeah.
Testosterone also on like the lower end of normal, so this could explain like fatigue, lower sex drive. And then over here, these downstream metabolites, you have the etiocolonone and then aldosterone. And then it's showing like if you have a 5 beta or 5 alpha preference, so you definitely have more of that 5 alpha preference, which is more like androgenic. So this could contribute to things like acne, chin hair, or hair thinning. So your body converts testosterone into DHT-like metabolites quickly. So with that, like, that could also be a reason for the hair thinning. Or, sorry, not the hair thinning, but just like the low libido and fatigue and things that we were just talking about. I would say for you, like, we're definitely wanting to support like DHEA and testosterone production. I recorded this, so you'll have it to like review, and I sent you all of my notes, and I'm gonna add the Dutch notes as well, and then I'm gonna work on putting together everything in your protocol. And you uploaded your blood work as well, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
So much.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Sorry we went over.
No problem.
But yeah, just send me a message in chat if you have any trouble with the lab work.
Okay.
The blood labs.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
I use a Minutes. It's called Minutes, the app. But it basically, even though she recorded the call, I should have just used it from the beginning, but I didn't. But it summarizes stuff, and I love that. It transcribes it and puts it in a document. I think it's like the best thing ever. There's other programs like Otter and etc., but I like Minutes. I am happy that we had that call. Relieved. It's just so crazy how stuff is connected. So basically, your girl's stressed out. Okay. Your girl's stressed. I think I've been handling well, but clearly my body's like, we fighting for our life here. So, cellularly, on a cellular level, I need help. So yeah, can't wait to get this protocol. The gluten's, it's just gonna dig me out, but that's that. I'm processing. That's all. TTYL.